Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging. Surface scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Safety limits. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. System scan complete. Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging.
terrorist occupation of Starport continues. Archambault Terminal in the Chun Star system remains under threat of nuclear destruction by the Children of Tothos. Senior Agent Rochelle Karim updated the media. Despite the best efforts of our negotiators, the cultists remain in control of the starport and still intend to detonate the Lucifer device. This 300 megaton weapon is capable of wiping out Archambault Terminal, along with the starport's entire population. Their leader, Barnabas Cole, has transmitted messages via the starport's comms array, repeating claims of preparing to bring Tothos' light to us all. There is no mention of a deity named Tothos in historical or mythical records, which suggests the faith was recently founded by Cole. Despite this, several civilian ships arrived in the Chun Star system over the past few days, attracted by Cole's sermons and seeking to join the cult. The FIA is monitoring the situation closely. Distant World Starport operational. The first starport constructed in the Galactic Center region has officially opened its doors. Explorer's Anchorage, an August starport, has been built in the STUM AFGY D7561 system as part of the Distant Worlds 2 expedition. Councillor Magnolia Gill, the starport administrator, announced its operational status. For the last 4 weeks we have watched our new home take shape, using materials delivered by many hard-working pilots. Now it spins in the galaxy's heart, a monument to humanity's ingenuity. As well as serving as a safe haven for future explorers, Explorer's Anchorage is a scientific research installation. We hope to learn more about the supermassive black hole at Sagittarius A star, and other astronomical phenomena in the galactic center. The Distant Worlds 2 exploration fleet is continuing its journey across the galaxy towards Beagle Point. Week in Review. Here are this week's main stories. The Children of Tothos cult has taken control of Archambault Terminal in the Chun Star system. Access to most station services has been suspended. It is feared that the cult's leader, Barnabas Cole, plans to detonate the Lucifer device as part of an apocalyptic ceremony. Rackham Capital Investments has appointed Tarja Gavaris as its new CFO, following the death of its former financial officer. CEO Zachary Rackham was not involved in Gavaris' appointment, leading to speculation of a scheme to remove Rackham from the company. And finally, the Distant Worlds 2 expedition has gathered the resources required to construct a new megaship and installation in the STUM AFGY D7561 system. The fleet will now continue its journey towards Beagle Point. And those are the main stories this week. Rackham fatality creates power struggle. Rackham Capital Investments has appointed a new CFO, following the death of its former financial officer. Business analyst Marlon Royce reported on the situation. Aaron Salazar was CFO at Rackham Capital Investments from its inception. After a sudden cardiac arrest at the Ivystone Spa-approved terminal, the board of directors voted to install Tarja Gavaris as his replacement. Little is known of Gavaris, outside of her meteoric rise up the corporate ladder. CEO Zachary Rackham was not present at the vote. The CEO has taken a leave of absence to cope with his grief. The multi-billionaire businessman, also known as Calico Zach, established the company following a lucrative career as an independent trader, although rumors persist that he actually operated as a pirate. Insiders have speculated that Gavaris' appointment may be part of a scheme to oust Rackham from the top spot. Distant Worlds campaign concludes. The Distant Worlds 2 expedition has gathered resources for a megaship and installation to be constructed in the Galactic Center. Contributors delivered huge amounts of materials to the STUM AFGY D7561 system. Deep Space Surveys also defended miners by placing a kill order on all wanted ships. Commander Michael Darkmore of the Rock Rat stated, "The newly built astrophysics station will enable us to observe high-detail changes to the gravimetric field surrounding Sagittarius A star. We hope to better understand the deeper relationships between extreme gravity and multi-dimensional space." The Distant Worlds 2 exploration fleet will continue its journey across the galaxy, towards Beagle Point. Those who took part in the campaign can now collect their rewards from Explorer's Anchorage in the STUM AFGY D7561 system. Nuclear threat shuts down Starport. Archambault Terminal in the Chun Star system has been overtaken by the Children of Tothos cult, who are threatening to detonate a stolen nuclear weapon. Senior Agent Rochelle Karim gave this statement. Most services at Archambault Terminal have shut down as a result of the control deck's occupation by Children of Tothos adherents. It's evident that personnel are obeying the cultists' orders for fear that they will use the Lucifer device. Millions of people remain at the starboard, making a frontal assault too risky. FIA negotiators are taking steps to open a dialogue and resolve the situation peacefully. The cult's leader, Barnabas Cole, transmitted a brief message using Archambault Terminal's communications array. At last, we have found the place where our testament's light will shine. Join us. When the ceremony is complete, you will all see Tothos, as we do. Week in review. Here are this week's main stories. The search for Barnabas Cole, leader of the Children of Tothos, has resulted in further arrests. Cole's alleged possession of the stolen Lucifer device remains a serious concern to the Federal Intelligence Agency. Talifa Ambrose, former heiress to the Ambrose Foundation fortune, has confessed to having a gambling addiction. She confirmed that her family's estate had been lost during a Joker's Deck event, and pledged her future work to fundraising for addiction charities. An initiative on behalf of Macrosphere has concluded successfully, with enough materials provided by the galactic community to begin manufacture of a new robot screening device. Finally, organizers of the Distant Worlds 2 expedition have requested materials for 2 deep space construction projects. The exploration fleet aims to build a megaship and installation in the Stume FGY D7561 system. And those are the main stories this week. Disowned heiress admits gambling addiction. The former heiress to the Ambrose Foundation has confessed that she lost her family's entire fortune through excessive gambling. Lady Talifa, now ordinary Talifa Ambrose, provided this statement to Vox Galactica. Everything you've read is true. I attended a lavish event hosted by Joker's Deck, staked the entire Ambrose estate and lost it all. But I don't regret a thing. The gambling problem I've suffered with for years has finally been cured. I believe my addiction was fueled by having far more wealth than any individual should. I now plan to use my connections to raise funds for addiction support charities. I don't blame Joker's Deck for my situation, since I knew the risks when I joined. And frankly, it could have been worse. I've seen corporations won and lost over a hand of deadlock poker. Hunt for Children of Tothos continues. The Federal Intelligence Agency continues to search for the Children of Tothos, a fringe cult that has stolen a nuclear weapon. Ethan Takahashi, crime correspondent for the Federal Times, reported. The FIA has rooted out additional cultists within the Zlotus system. All fervently worship their charismatic leader, Barnabas Cole, but none seem to know his current location or plans. The Children of Tothos believe they were chosen by a demonic being that exists in the spaces between the stars. Cole claims that only he, aided by select adherents, can summon Tothos with an enormous ceremonial sacrifice. Criminal psychologists fear that Cole's egotism permits any act that justifies his delusions, including detonation of a nuclear warhead. Since the recently stolen Lucifer device is both portable and undetectable by security scans, practically any location might be chosen for the cult's apocalyptic
Surface scan complete.
ceremony. Distant Worlds mining campaign. The organizers of the Distant Worlds 2 expedition have requested materials for 2
Frameshift drive charging.
construction projects in the Galactic Center. The exploration fleet aims to build a megaship and installation in the Stume FGY D7561 system. Dr. Kai, Fleet Liaison for Deep Space Surveys, explained. This installation will be a place for scientists to study the supermassive black hole at Sagittarius A star. Future explorers visiting the station will be well looked after by Deep Space Surveys, to whom we will hand the keys before continuing to Beagle Point. Bauxite, water and liquid oxygen should be delivered to explorers' anchorage, in the Stume AFGY D7561 system. To protect contributors, Deep Space Surveys has authorized bounty vouchers for all wanted vessels. The initiative begins on the 7th of March 3305 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Macrosphere Initiative ends. A components drive for a device to detect illegally reprogrammed robots has concluded successfully. Daniel Sharp, CEO of technology company Macrosphere, announced. There was a fantastic response to our request, which the DS Leonis Industries organized on our behalf. Many thanks to those who participated. Whether you own a personal admin robot or a factory of industrial machines, the Mac scanner will confirm that they are functioning as intended. Pilots who took part in the initiative can now collect their awards from Grandin Terminal and the DS Leonis system. Week in Review. Here are this week's main stories. The Federal Intelligence Agency has announced that a nuclear weapon known as the Lucid
Surface scan complete.
The device is in the possession of a cult known as the Children of Tithos. The cult is thought to have used information coerced from a financier to locate and raid the research outpost.
Frameshift drive charging.
Working on the device. It has been revealed that Lady Talifa Ambrose's 300 billion credit fortune was lost as a result of a record high-stakes game of deadlock poker, hosted by the elusive Joker's deck gambling room.
3, 2,
Lady Talifa has been disowned by her family. In other news, open conflict in the Drevliada system has ceased. The battle came to a halt following the summary executions of General Kendrick and Marshal Drevliada, whose personal quarrel was responsible for the considerable loss of life among their respective forces. Finally, tech company Macrosphere is developing a specialized scanning device to detect illicit interference with personal robots. They have called for the delivery of commodities to the DS Leonis system to aid them in their efforts. And those are the main stories this week. Heiress's fortune lost to gambling. It has been revealed that Lady Talifa Ambrose's 300 billion credit fortune vanished as a result of her participation in a powerful gambling ring. Confirmation came when Baroness Oksana Ambrose shared a report from the Warglass Investigations Agency. Multiple sources verify that Lady Talifa has been a member of Joker's deck for years.
fuel scooping.
At the group's most recent event, she met the entire Ambrose Foundation during an epic game of high-stakes
Fuel scooping complete.
poker, and eventually lost. Lady Talifa was a
Frameshift drive charging. Frameshift drive charging. Engage. 3, 2, 1. Engage. Frameshift drive charging. scan complete. Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
Devastated,
Frameshift drive charging.
fleeing the venue soon after. Some attendees believe that the game was rigged by one or more other players, who aimed to exploit Lady Talifa's well-known gambling addiction. The organizers of Joker's deck remain anonymous and untraceable, so retrieving the family's assets is unlikely. An Ambrose Foundation spokesperson later stated that Baroness Oksana has officially revoked Lady Talifa's title, vowing never to see her daughter again. Cult obtains nuclear weapons. The Federal Intelligence Agency
System scan complete. System
announced
scan
that a stolen
complete.
nuclear weapon known as the Lucifer device is in the possession
Fuel scooping.
of a fringe cult known as the Children of Dythos. Senior Agent Rochelle Karim gave the following statement. Several executives at Slaughter Federal Holdings have confessed to being secret members of the Children of
Fuel scooping complete.
Dythos. They were
Frameshift drive charging.
present for a ceremony held by the cult's leader, Barnabas Cole, last December.
Frameshift drive charging.
One executive, Councillor Willard Morgenstern, was also covertly funding an unrelated criminal enterprise to develop portable nuclear weapons, while under the influence of various substances. Councillor Morgenstern disclosed details of the research outpost to the cult. We believe that Barnabas Cole and his followers used this information to raid the outpost and obtain the Lucifer device. The FIA is conducting a stellar manhunt to locate these individuals and are treating them as highly dangerous suspects.
System scan complete. System scan complete.
Conflict in Drevniada resolved.
Fuel scooping.
Battle in the Drevniada system, which sprang from a long-running rivalry between two military leaders, has now ended.
Fuel scooping complete.
Zone reporter Carleen Troy summarized. The antagonistic
Frameshift drive charging.
relationship between General Kendrick and Marshal Cooper was finally resolved when both were executed by their own lieutenants, who were displeased with the huge loss of life resulting from their leaders' quarrel. Both the Namab Purple brothers and the Drevliada League have agreed to honor commitments to members of the galactic community who fought on each side. Independent pilots who took part in the conflict can now collect their rewards from the Drevliada system. Supporters of the Namab Purple brothers should head to Wheeler Dock, while supporters of the Drevliada League should travel to
System scan complete.
Brandon Port. Macrosphere Initiative. Technology company Macrosphere is developing a specialized scanning device to detect illicit interference with personal robots. Macrosphere CEO Danny Sharp provided the details. The recent Mars Tribune scandal proved that the illegal reprogramming of robots is a genuine concern. Armac scanner will allow
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
owners to discover if their trusted servants have been compromised. A components drive is being organized by our partners, DS Leonis Industries, as well as shipments of microcontrollers, auto fabricators, and aluminium. We also require newly mined jewels to channel the microlasers used by the McScanner to detect interference. Deliveries should be made to Grandin Terminal in the DS Leonis system. The initiative begins on the 28th of February 3305 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Week in Review. Here are this week's main stories. The Federal Intelligence Agency has uncovered evidence that Slaughter Federal Holdings funded an illegal outpost from which a portable nuclear weapon was recently stolen. It is believed that one of the
Frameshift drive charging.
faction's members also arranged the theft, which resulted in the massacre of personnel working at the outpost. An independent journalist has claimed that Lady Talifa Ambrose is associated with the secretive gambling circle Jokers. It was proposed that the Ambrose Foundation's bankruptcy may have followed a poor series of wagers from the missing heiress. A supply campaign to increase security in the Merope system has concluded successfully. The research group had arranged for military supplies to be delivered, reassuring the local populace of their ongoing protection from the Argoid threat. In other news, the defense contractor Prax Incorporated has denied accusations that it has failed to comply with industry safety regulations. CEO Lucina Prax dismissed the claims and stated that her company is working on a new weapons system following a record financial year. Finally, a personal rivalry between two military leaders has erupted into open military conflict in the Drevliada system. The individuals concerned, General Kendrick and Marshal Cooper, have each asked the galactic community to provide them with support. And those are the main stories this week. Heiress's gambling connections revealed. Lady Talifa Ambrose, the missing Ambrose Foundation heiress, has been alleged to have a history of gambling that may explain the sudden loss of her family's entire fortune. Independent journalist Flynn Firemaker Lafos commented on the Rewired news feed. Baroness Oksana has convinced everyone that her daughter was kidnapped and forced to surrender her vast inheritance. What the Baroness failed to mention is that Lady Talifa's name has long been associated with an exclusive gambling circle named Joker's Deck. Some of the wealthiest individuals in the galaxy are believed to be associated with the group, including corporate CEOs, senior politicians, minor royals, pirate lords and cartel kingpins. Several famous names are rumored to be in Joker's Deck, including
System scan complete.
at least one member of the Rochester family. Is it possible that Lady Talifa wasn't kidnapped but is instead hiding in shame, having gambled away the entire Ambrose Foundation?
Frameshift drive charging.
Funding for stolen nuclear weapon traced. The Federal Intelligence Agency has traced the funding of an illegal nuclear research outpost to the Zlota system. Senior Agent Rochelle Karim provided the following. Details. Having successfully decrypted the outpost's communications, we have determined that Zlota Federal Holdings was financing these unregistered research projects. Several of the organization's principals were covertly redirecting public funds to construct portable nuclear weapons. We suspect that one of these individuals became greedy and arranged for the outpost to be raided, acquiring the prototype Lucifer device to subsequently sell on the black market. The FIA is currently questioning the Zlota Executive Council to learn more. It is crucial that we locate the Lucifer device, which poses a serious threat to public safety. Merope Defense Initiative concludes. A military supply campaign to increase security in the Merope system has concluded successfully. Jacob Chowdhury, Defense Director of the Atlas Research Group, said, "Our gratitude to all the pilots who delivered reactive armor and military-grade fabrics. These resources will prove vital in enhancing Merope's defenses against the Argoid attacks." The Atlas Research Group also helped protect traders from piracy by placing kill orders on all
Fuel scooping.
ships in the system. Contributors to the campaign can now collect their rewards from Reed's Rest in the Merope system. Rivalry triggers conflict in
Fuel scoop disengaged.
Drevliada. A long-standing enmity between two military
Fuel scooping.
leaders has escalated into hostilities in the Drevliada system. Details were provided by freelance Warzone reporter
Fuel scooping complete.
Carlene Troy. The personal rivalry between General Kendrick of Namab Purple Brothers and Marshal Cooper of Drevliada League has lasted for years. Each frequently accuses the other of incompetence and endangering
Frameshift drive charging.
the people of Drevliada. This grudge match has now spiraled into a state of open conflict. Both Kendrick and Cooper have asked the galactic community to provide support in crushing their opponents' forces. Two factions have set out week-long campaigns to take control of the Drevliada system, which will begin on the 21st of February 3305. Defense contractor denies safety violations. Weapons weapons manufacturer Prax Incorporated has dismissed accusations of poor safety measures in its development and testing programs. Concerns were originally raised by Adley King of the Federal Times as part of an investigation into weapons testing within inhabited sectors. CEO Lucina Prax gave this press statement. I can assure Ms. King that my company takes every precaution when evaluating its products. We have never, and will never, ignore safety protocols. Regarding these accusations, I am aware of the claims being made but have yet to see a single shred of evidence to support them. We act in full compliance with the most stringent industry regulations. 3304 was
Fuel scooping.
record year for Prax Incorporated. The latest version of our proprietary threat recognition
Fuel scooping complete.
firmware propelled our stock to new heights, and we are developing a new system that I believe will be considered
Frameshift drive charging.
revolutionary. Cultist occupation of Starport continues. Archambault Terminal in the Chun Star system remains under threat of nuclear destruction by the children of Tothos. Senior Agent Rochelle Karim updated the media. Despite the best efforts of our negotiators, the cultists remain in control of the starport and still intend to detonate the Lucifer device. This 300 megaton weapon is capable of wiping out Archambault Terminal, along with the starport's entire population. Their leader, Barnabas Koch, has transmitted messages via the starport's comms array, repeating claims of preparing to bring Tothos' light to us all. There is no mention of a deity named Tothos in historical or mythical records, which suggests the faith was recently founded by Cole. Despite this, several civilian ships arrived in the Chun Star system over the past few days, attracted by Cole's sermons and seeking to join the cult. The FIA is monitoring the situation closely. Distant World Starport operational. The first starport constructed in the Galactic Center region has officially opened its doors. Explorers
System scan complete.
Anchorage, an Orbis starport, has been built in the Stume FGY D7561 system as part of the Distant Worlds 2 expedition. Councillor Magnolia Gill, the starport administrator, announced its operational status. For the last 4 weeks we have
Frameshift drive charging.
watched our new home take shape, using materials delivered by many hard-working pilots. Now it spins in the galaxy's heart, a monument to humanity's ingenuity, as well as serving as a safe haven for future Explorers Anchorage is a scientific research installation. We hope to learn more about the supermassive black hole at Sagittarius A star and other astronomical phenomena in the galactic center. The World's 2 exploration fleet is continuing its journey across the galaxy towards Beagle Point.
System scan complete.
Week in review. Here are this week's main
Fuel scooping.
stories. The Children of Tothos cult has taken control of Archambault Terminal in the Chun Star system. Access to most station services has been suspended. It is feared that the cult's leader, Barnabas
Fuel scooping complete.
plans to detonate the Lucifer device as
Frameshift drive charging.
part of an apocalyptic ceremony. Rackham Capital Investments has appointed Tajik Gavaris as its new CFO, following the death of its former financial officer. CEO Zachary Rackham was not involved in Gavaris' appointment, leading to speculation of a scheme to remove Rackham from the company. And finally, the Distant Worlds 2 expedition has gathered the resources required to construct a new megaship and installation in the FGY D7561 system. The fleet will now continue its journey towards Beagle Point. And those are the main stories this week. Rackham fatality creates power struggle. Rackham Capital Investments has appointed a new CFO, following the death of its former financial officer. Business analyst Marlon Royce reported on the situation. Aaron Salazar was CFO at Rackham Capital Investments from its inception. After a sudden cardiac arrest at the Ivystone Spa-approved terminal, the board of directors voted
Frameshift drive charging.
to install Taja Gavaris as his replacement. Little is known of Gavaris, outside of her meteoric rise up the corporate ladder. CEO Zachary Rackham was not present at the vote. The CEO has taken a leave of absence to cope with his grief. The multi-billionaire businessman, also known as Calico Zach, established the company following a lucrative career as an independent trader, although rumors persist that he actually operated as a pirate. Insiders have speculated that Gavaris' appointment may be part of a scheme to oust Rackham from the top spot. Distant Worlds campaign concludes. The Distant Worlds 2 expedition has gathered resources for a megaship and installation to be constructed in the Galactic Center. Contributors delivered huge amounts of materials to the Stume FGY D7561 system. Deep Space Surveys also defended miners by placing a kill order on all wanted ships. Commander Michael Dartmoor of the Rock Rat stated, "The newly built astrophysics station will enable us to observe high-detail changes to the gravimetric field surrounding Sagittarius A star. We hope to better understand the deeper relationships between extreme gravity and multidimensional space." The Distant Worlds 2 exploration fleet will continue its journey across the galaxy, towards Beagle Point. Those who took part in the campaign can now collect their rewards from Explorer's Anchorage in the Stume FGY D7561 system. Nuclear threat shuts down starport. Archambault terminal in the Chun Star system has been overtaken by the Children of Tothos cult, who are threatening to detonate a nuclear weapon. Senior Agent Rochelle Carrion gave this statement. Most services at Archambault
Fuel scooping complete.
terminal have shut down as a result of the control deck's occupation by Children of Tothos adherents. It's evident that personnel are obeying the cultists' orders for fear that they will use the Lucifer device. Millions of people remain at the starboard, making the frontal assault too risky.